Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Sal Stretford Post. How you're doing? And welcome to Chatterbox. Hope everyone's had a fantastic day, guys. What's going on? I think I've had a fantastic day. I think my day's been okay compared to some other people. I mean, Sky Sports, I've been spending the whole day trying to justify how the wall was not far forward or far back. God knows, but they were doing all sorts, measuring, doing footsteps and stuff, trying to justify how the wall wasn't in the correct position against Man United, which probably led to the goal. It would have went in anyway, guys. The positioning of the goalkeeper was absolutely atrocious. So, look, these guys, look, when have you ever seen, guys, honest to God, when have you ever seen a segment on TV trying to justify a decision? When have you ever seen Sky Sports measure a wall? When have you ever seen him trying to measure a wall? Oh my goodness me! I'm gonna bring this one in, of course, guys. This photo in real quickly, and you're gonna look. You know what? I saw this drifted around social media just now, of course, and look, here they are measuring the wall on Sky Sports. Why it was a free kick? Why the free kick wasn't taken correctly? Correct me if I'm wrong. Right? How many times has this happened to Man United when the free kick wasn't taken correctly? Why don't we try and justify how Partey should have been sent off or Mourinho shouldn't have been sent off yesterday? Why don't they do segments on that? Why don't they spend a whole hour, 2 hours on that? Why don't they do that? Why don't they talk about the FA Cup tie when we fought against the referee, at the end of the day, and still managed to win with 10 men? Why don't they talk about that? They don't want to talk about that, do they? They dislike Man United. Their disdain for Man United is becoming pretty obvious now, and it's sickening. Absolute sickening. No wonder they are going down the pan, guys. No wonder they're going down the pan. And you know what? Us hated, adored, never ignored. That is what I would say at the end of the day. They're always going to hate us, ain't they? These pundits, these commercial pundits on Sky Sports, on TalkSport, on ESPN FC, nothing but anti-United malarkey, anti-United crap, basically. That is what it is at the end of the day. And you know what? We have to put up with that every single week, don't we? Sometimes I try not to pay them any attention. Sometimes I just ignore it. I scroll past it and I'm like, you know what? Leave it. Let them do what they had. Let them hate. Haters will hate at the end of the day. But sometimes when you see some of your friends posting it and stuff like that, and you're like, really? You know what I mean? They're actually spending a whole hour trying to justify how the free kick wasn't taken in the correct position. We should have fought against 10 men yesterday because Partey should have been sent off. 2 yellow cards, Partey should have been sent off. Thank you, everyone who's joined me today, guys. Thank you very much. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and please don't forget to smash a like on the video. If you guys can do that for me, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Stephanie, good evening, Steph. Hope you're doing well. Have a great show, Sal. Thank you so much. Catching up with here's my early light. Really appreciate that, Steph. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you. Danny B, big up, Sal. Big up, Danny B. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Absolutely. Late night vibes, Sal, the legend, and good Arvo to you. How are you? Good, my friend. Good, my friend. Good to see you, Jim. Kenny, I see 12 yards FC. In it. 12 yards FC, for goodness sake. I've never seen it in my life on Sky Sports, them measuring a free kick like that. I've never seen it. I saw it. I couldn't believe my eyes. I had to look twice. I had to rub my eyes. And I think, what's going on here? What's going on here? Were they actually measuring a free kick? My goodness me. I really couldn't believe my eyes, if I'm being honest with you. But it is what it is. The hatred towards Manchester United, it's getting pretty obvious now. They can't hide it. They can't hide it now. It's just getting too ridiculous now, the hatred towards Man United. Big up, Michael. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Really good to see you, Michael. Good to see you. Of course, absolutely. Bruno made it look easy. Yeah, the goalkeeper needs to be blamed. If anyone needs to be blamed in that free kick, it's the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper was all the way on the other side, and they're trying to blame United for their mishaps. I mean, as far as I'm aware, we played against 12 men in the FA Cup just a few weeks ago. And they're talking about that. And you got Julian. What's Julian from AFT TV talking all that smack? You know what I mean? Absolutely talking about like a Poundland lawyer. You know what I mean? Whatever he is, to be honest with you. And absolutely pathetic, to be honest. But that is the way cookie crumbles with Man United. This is what happens with Man United. We hated, adored, never ignored, as I said. And regardless, whatever happens, they're always going to find a way to try and downplay what we do, no matter what. I remember back in the treble season, I know I'm bringing it back, but I remember back in the treble season, I used to listen to Radio 5 Live back then. It was a channel in England. It used to broadcast the football, all the football and stuff. So I used to listen to the reaction after the game and stuff, and even then, right, they tried to justify how Man United were fluked, Man United were lucky, they shouldn't have this, they shouldn't have that, and to be honest with you, this is the nature of what we have to put up with at the end of the day these days. Kenny. But what, Sal? The rival fans will say that Fergie was on the referee payroll, pure deflection tactics. The referee, I mean, this kind of thing where Fergie time and Fergie tactics, it's just a lie to cover up their mishaps. It's just because they were crap, they want to blame Fergie. Oh, it's Fergie. It was Fergie got referee. Fergie got referee favoritism. Oh, really? We lost the league title, a couple of league titles for bad decisions. Do you know what I mean? They want to talk about Fergie got, Fergie time and all that. We were just very good at the end of the day. That's why we were good in Europe. You know what I mean? And that's what it is. That's why we won in Europe, because we were actually good. You know what I mean? And they just want to throw out every single excuse because we dominated the league for so long without oil money, without a sugar daddy. That's what we did. We did it properly. We did it with kids. You can't win anything with kids. We did it with kids, of course, guys. Absolutely. Pathetic, guys. Absolutely pathetic. Again, the media, the mainstream media, of course, they don't like us. We don't like them. And it's just going to roll on, isn't it? At the end of the day, it's just going to keep going like a bloody never-ending a record that never stops playing. And you've heard it hundreds of thousands of times. So, guys, in regards to, I spoke earlier about a few players that Manchester United are interested in. There is a player called Roger Fernandez who plays for Braga, SC Braga, and he is on Manchester United's radar. The reason I bring in Fernandez again, another Fernandez, Roger Fernandez, the reason I bring him in again is because he is 15 million euros. So Man United could possibly, with Man United tax, could quite possibly get this player for around 25 million euros, which isn't too bad with Man United tax. A 19-year-old right winger can play left winger and can play attacking midfield and can play left back and right back as well. A very versatile player. So he can play wing back. He is primarily a inadverted winger. He's not a full-time left winger. He does play on the right and he can be inverted, of course, which Ruben Amorim does like. He may represent a cheaper option than Giovanni Quenda. As far as I'm concerned, I believe the Giovanni Quenda deal is done. I think it's done. I think Man United will sign Giovanni Quenda in the summer. I do believe that has all been signed, sealed, delivered. I do believe that. I think that he's going to be the main signing in the summer. Giovanni Quenda. So Man United will more or less get their fullback sorted out. Of course, Dalot, again, was not impressive yesterday. Again, did not really do well yesterday. Again, there are a number of times he could have crossed that ball in the box. He didn't cross the ball. When he did cross the ball, he hit it out for a goal kick. It was just absolutely pathetic at the end of the day. Jim, you would think that that's a broadcaster, they'd be neutral and fair. That's just so poor and immature of Sky. So unprofessional. It's unprofessional. It's the hatred, Jim. It's the hatred. They hate us. And this hatred should be, put back to the back seat, because without Manchester United, these companies like Sky, like ESPN, like TalkSport, would have nothing to talk about, number one. Number two, they probably wouldn't even exist, because the way Man United put the Premier League back on the map for them to get the popularity. Man United brought the money in initially When the league was opened, the Premier League started in 1992. When the Premier League started in 1992, it was Manchester United who brought the money in. It was them who brought the money in. It wasn't any other of those teams. It wasn't your Arsenals. It wasn't your Liverpools. It wasn't your Aston Villas. It was Manchester United. And we built up the Premier League into what it is today. So really and truly, instead of doing all this, they should be saying thank you to Man United. Absolutely. Big up LT, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Big up Sal. It would kill the media to actually be real and tell it like it is, which is that we were the better team yesterday and deserved to win. And it wasn't for Raya Arsenal lose that game. Absolutely, LT. So why don't they talk about the party red card, the 2 yellows that he should have got and he should have been sent off? Why don't they talk about the Marino red card that should have been? Why don't they spend an hour trying to dissect that? You know, because at the end of the day, their peanut brains, their hatred just can't be covered up. They can't cover it up. It is meant to be neutral. It is meant to be fair, but they can't cover up their hatred. Unfortunately, it's just the way it is. Unprofessional in the sense of displaying hate. It is, man. And you can, Jim, you can tell, isn't it? You can tell, Jim, that, you know what, it's just pure hatred. They've actually gone out their way to do a little demonstration, like we were back at school, how many yards the free kick should be taken. They actually done that. They took time on the TV segment to do that. And I'm like, mate, when have they ever done this before? This has been happening all season, these kind of things. And anyway, you can't get it spot on. You can't get the free kick distance spot on anyway. It's not 100% accurate. If they want it to be 100% accurate, maybe they should get their friends in VAR to try and make sure with all their lines that they're so accurate. Why don't they do it like that then? Why don't they? So they can stop moaning at the end of the day. Lumen, Sal, was Jules right saying that he's 12% behind the thoughts of Jules asking side about the Palestine ban? Also, all your thoughts on Jules. I spoke about that this morning, Lumen. If you watched the show this morning, I spoke about it. I don't want to get too much into that, of course, because it is very dodgy territory, Lumen, my friend. It is dodgy territory. I spoke about it passionately this morning. If you have a look at it this morning, I don't agree with what Jules said. I think they need to apologize. And you know what? Because this is a democracy at the end of the day, and they didn't display any sense of democracy, in my opinion. And it's not the first time that they've done that. They've done it with Mo as well, who used to be on there, absolutely displaying, he's anti-genocide. That is what it is. At the end of the day, someone that's displaying an anti-genocide, a logo shouldn't be, quietened at the end of the day. And that 12%, 12 yards, Lumen, it's absolutely pathetic. And this is what I've been talking about just now. I've been talking about that 12 yards that Jules have been talking about. Not talking about the red card that should have been for Partey and the red card that should have been for Marino. They're not talking about that. And perhaps we should have had a handball as well in the penalty area. So, we can go all day long about games and we could pick the bones about every game, can't we? But at the end of the day, look, you're never going to get it 100% accurate. We could go back to every single free kick that has been scored against us and we can measure it with whatever, with some electronic AI, whatever. And I guarantee you that every single free kick that has been scored against Man United is not 100% accurate. And this is the thing. This is the first time I've seen it. Arsenal have blamed the balls this season. They blame the pitch this season. They blame the weather this season. They blame everything but themselves. At the end, this is what Arsenal do. They cannot blame. They've got no accountability. So why isn't the temporary spray being used? Because it's the same thing. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. In reality, it is not accurate anyways, Lumen. When the referee sprays that line, that's the referee. The referee's not getting it 100% correct. It's not correct. The only reason for the spray is if we move the ball after the free kick has been taken. So basically, so you don't move it over the line. But that doesn't mean it's accurate. He hasn't measured that line with the VAR. He hasn't measured it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, watch it, Lumen. Let me know your opinions, mate. At the end of the day, I feel passionately about this subject, and obviously, you know what, I will, you know what, I don't want to get in trouble for this and stuff like that. And do you know what I mean? In regards to it, it's not the first time that they've done it, and it's not a surprise, to be honest with you. But you know what, I think that guy needs to be kicked off the channel. I really do. The biggest disappointment for me, Lumen, is that when Saeed went on AFTV, not on his channel, he then went on AFTV, he removed the badge. In my opinion, in regards to that, if you believe in something so passionately, you don't remove the badge. Screw your interview. I keep the badge, or no interview. It's as simple as that. That's what I do. If you believe in something 100%, you go with it full on. You don't just believe in it half, because he almost took it off as well during his own segment. But you know what? At the end of the day, what Jules did, whatever his name is, was absolutely disgraceful in my opinion. Yo, what's going on, Rasta? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're good, of course. I'm actually proud of the team for putting in a proper fighting performance with the injuries and decimated team. And I can see the improvement in which we're trying to do. LT, you know your game. LT, you know your game, bro. We are, and you've been speaking a lot of sense for a long time now, LT. And we know that if Ruben Amorim got the players that, he desired, Man United are going to be on fire. We know that. They're going to cook, so to speak. They will. And the fact of the matter is that we don't at the moment. And we still created the best chances. Now, if we had some confidence up front, if we had some kind of, belief, maybe we would have won that game pretty comfortably yesterday. And yes, Arsenal had possession. But over the last 30 years, Arsenal have always been a possession type of side. They've always had possession. I remember under Arsene Wenger, they were a team that played around the box. But, it was famous that they'll put pass around the box, but they would never get into the box, of course, guys. Now, I saw a video of Rasmus Højlund and Peter Schmeichel. Peter Schmeichel, the ex-Man United goalkeeper, and Peter Schmeichel was consoling Rasmus, like giving him confidence and stuff like that. I actually felt it because I feel sorry for young players when it doesn't work out, because Man United at the moment is a very difficult place to be. And there's a lot going on at Man United. So much toxicity going on at Man United. There's so much negativity around the club with people losing their jobs, etc., etc. I've spoken to Rasmus before. I've spoken on Instagram before with Rasmus, and I know how he feels. I know he's under pressure. And you know what we have to do as a fan base for now is try and give that player confidence, because he's not going anywhere at the moment, okay? He's going to be here to the end of the season. And even then, we have to sell him for 42 million to override PSR and FFP, which probably won't happen. So my thing would be, let's support him to the end of the season. And if he gets a loan or something like that, then great. He goes on loan, and you know what? I wish him the best of luck. So nowadays, some people are disgusting and don't have self-respect. They don't, mate. Absolutely, Rasta. They're arrogant with it. They're arrogant with it. They think they own the world. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. My dad is a Man United fan and Panathinaikos fan. When I was young, watching games of football with my dad, he taught me a lot about the game. He used to call out the referees sabotaging teams. Absolutely. Oh, no, Sal, he removed the badge on AOT. That's so weak of him. Yeah, Lumen, there you go. Saeed for you, mate. This shows he is doing things for convenience and accordingly. Lumen, you're absolutely right, mate. I say you're absolutely right. I'm not a coward. I would never remove it. If I believe in something, I will say it. And you know what? If it means me losing people and along the way, it's the way it is. I will say it. I would never turn back on that. My belief in something. If I believe in something so passionately, I wouldn't remove it. He removed it. You know what I mean? And that needs to be obviously considered. You know what I mean? Because he did bow down. He did. You know what I mean? And to be honest with you, it was pathetic. The whole scenario in regards to that was pathetic, in my opinion. LT, let's also remember that since the beginning of the year, we have only lost 3 games, but this negative narrative around Amorim's system is really tiring and shows the lack of IQ for the mainstream media. This is the stick they're beating him with, LT. This is the stick they're beating him with. Tactics. They got nothing else because they don't know about football. They don't know about tactics. They don't know that Ruben Amorim is going to need his players to do that. Now, some people say, well, you know what? David Moyes can walk in and he can do so well and he can win games. Let me tell you what happens with football. You need to teach them about football in general. If you want short-term games to win, right, you play like David Moyes. You play like Sam Allardyce. If you want long-term sustainable success, you make a plan. And that plan doesn't always go well. For example, if you open a business and you know what, you just get everything cheaply. You get everything cheaply and, rush everything and that and try and... You're not going to have long-term sustainability. But if you took your time, invested in it properly and more patient, you'll have more chance of being successful. This is what they don't understand. And this annoys me because they're trying their best. Every single press conference, I'm seeing the same thing about the tactics. And they have no idea what's going on. They have proven, the players have proven yesterday and the last 20 minutes against Everton and other games that they can play that tactic. They've done it against Real Sociedad. They can play that tactic. Both games, Real Sociedad and Arsenal, these last two games, Manchester United should have won the game. So what does that tell you? They can play the tactics when they want to play the tactics. Now, whether they implement it properly all the time, that is obviously up for debate. But we do have weaknesses in that side. Yesterday, what pleased me was the relationship between Mazraoui and Garnacho. I really loved the relationship where they were working with. The Dalot again is obviously he's just so bad. He's just so bad in my opinion, and I think he definitely needs to be replaced going forward. AFTV and that entire fan base is sick and delusional in the head. They're delusional, mate. They're blaming everyone. This season, they've had a list of blames. At the end of the day, no accountability for it. They're blaming that free kick. Now, we can always turn around and say that Partey should have had 2 yellow cards and should have been sent off. He should have, right? But they won't talk about that. Do you know what I mean? They don't want to talk about that because it doesn't fit their sinister narrative, of course, against Manchester United. This is what they do, of course. Sal, our next 2 games are late night Thursday and Sunday. Manatuta, thank you for reminding me, Manatuta. Thursday's game for me is Friday, midnight kickoff for me. I will be doing it. I'll be here. Guys, I hope you guys can join me. I will be here, of course, up until 2 a.m., 2:30 a.m., and I'll be up at 5 as well in the morning. So show some love for Uncle Sal. Show some love. And you know what? Hopefully we win the game. Because it is a very important game as well. It's a massive game, and I'm actually quite anxious about this game. I actually hope that we can win this game because we really do need this. We don't want to get knocked out of the Europa League and have nothing to play for. We don't want that. We need to win this game. Absolutely. No second guessing, nothing. This is a must win, of course. Absolutely. Rasta, when was the worst manager to me is David Moyes. David Moyes was the wrong choice from the beginning. Absolutely. The wrong choice. And it's from that moment when we brought in David Moyes that everything just started going down and down and down. We never recovered in David Moyes, in my opinion. We had the Premier League backroom and winning staff, and he got rid of them. Yeah, and guess what he did, Rasta? He would take all those Man United players. Now, remember back then, those Man United players were serial championship winners, Champions League winners as well. You know what? And what did David Moyes do? He showed them a video of Everton defending. And he looked at the team and he said, I think it was Phil Jagielka at the time. He said, this is how you should defend. So one of the players, I'm not sure who it is, turned around to David Moyes and said, but what have they won? Right? And then another player said to David Moyes, what have you won? And at that moment, he lost the dressing room. It was over. He lost the dressing room. And that was it. Downhill from there. Whether you think that's fair, whether you don't, David Moyes done everything wrong. What it needed to be was a smooth transition. Nothing touched, smooth transition. David Moyes, Alex Ferguson. That's it. But it wouldn't have been David Moyes for me. It would have been either Klopp, it would have been either Guardiola. I know that Guardiola accepted Bayern Munich at that time, if I'm not wrong. Bayern Munich, it could have been Klopp, it could have been obviously Pep Guardiola, it could have been anyone, Jose Mourinho even. Then it would have been a lot better than David Moyes. It was a bad mistake. Sal, who should Dalot improve his performance or even care about his performance when he knows and sure he will win the next game? Because it's for the Man United badge, Matata. It's for the Man United badge. It's not about that. And I don't think he purposely goes out there, Matata, to play badly. He's just like Rasmus, like other players in our team, the confidence is very, very low at the moment. And we have to remember that. SLD, Marino stamp on Garnacho, no card, Thai voice. Where's the card? Where's the card? Where's the card? Where's the card? Red card. It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. It should have been a red card. And so should a party been sent off as well. But they won't mention that because you know what? They don't have the facility in their brain to mention that. You know, because at the end of the day, it's all about the ball. The ball, the 3 yards for 12 yards. It would have went in anyway, you fool. Those idiots, it would have went in anyway. Absolutely. Big up, Kenny. Real Sociedad is the game that really matters. No excuses. It's the nervous game, Kenny. It is a very nervous game. I'm kind of pleased that it's not away goals, although we would have had an advantage if we had away goals, definitely. But you know what? It is a very, very important game for us. And it's probably one of our most important games in the last couple of years. Yeah, probably is, you know, because I feel like if we beat Real Sociedad, we most likely would go on to play Lyon. I have good memories about Lyon. We've beaten Lyon a few times in the Champions League, I remember. I think we could beat Lyon. And if we beat Lyon, we'll be in the semi-final. And then anything can happen, isn't it? You know, so 2 games, like we've got to beat. Let's think about this game first. Real Sociedad, it's a tough game, but it's a game that Man United got. I was very impressed with Man United against Sociedad. Man United should have beat Sociedad pretty comfortably. And I think if we play like that again, I think we'll win the game. Jim, it's clearly visible, Sal. Yes, the player system wants. It's a matter of lazy egos. When they want, they play it, and also they don't want, they get lazy. It's all about ego. Yeah, it's all about that, and they've proven that they can play it. The biggest overriding problem is that Man United play well against the likes of Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City, those type of teams. But when it comes against the Brightons and the Wolves and the Crystal Palaces, they seem to struggle a little bit. And that is a mental thing. That could be a mental thing. That could be a style of play that the other team is playing. Maybe they're playing more low block. It is up in the air, isn't it? That ball guy that approached Saeed said the reason why he didn't win the league is because the Queen passed. I was like, what? What an absolute clown, Rasta. He's a clown, mate. An absolute clown. I didn't even see that, to be honest with you. Oh, my goodness me. This year, right, you know, in a matter of a year, we've lost Sir Bobby Charlton, right? Our legend, right? We've lost Dennis Law, our legend, right? We've lost these players, right? And are we going around blaming that? Are we going around blaming everything under the sun? Are we going around telling Arsenal fans how we didn't have Kobe Mainoo, Ugarte, Licha? Are we going around Ahmad? Are we going around telling them how we didn't have all these players playing? Arsenal fans have got the audacity to tell me that they didn't have a striker. Well, let me bring you to welcome to our world. Welcome to our world. We had 60-odd injuries last season. And people don't want to mention that, do they, at the end of the day? And we still got a whole repertoire of injuries in our squad, not mentioning Mason Mount and Luke Shaw. You know what I mean? We've also got Mainoo, which Cully has just come back. Ugarte is been out as well. Licha is out as well. Ahmad is out as well. And these are our better players, these. Do you know what I mean? Sal, the Old Trafford noise was like tourists when Bruno scored. That's the problem, Kenny. No offense, but you know, Old Trafford is full of tourists, and this is what happens when the season ticket holders don't go to games. They sell their tickets at the door, and yeah, this is why we need to do it in a tactical way. Basically, scan their season ticket, go into the ground, and then walk out, because then they can't resell that seat because it's already been scanned. So that's what I would do, or stage a sit-in like Liverpool. What Liverpool did, which was pretty clever, is that they staged a sit-in. They staged a sit-in and they didn't leave the football stadium. And it caused obviously the Liverpool ownership more problems than leaving the stadium. Given time, I firmly believe that Amram can take us to the top as the Glazers Ineos give him the backing. And if they don't, we will foul and they will sack. Yeah, and this is the problem, isn't it? And then we're back to square one, isn't it? At the end of the day. He said because of the passing of the Queen, the match against Liverpool got postponed, and at that time, Arsenal were in good form and could have won it. Ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. We are winning our next game. Yes, we are. Keep the positivity up, of course, guys. Big up Rasta. I'm also anxious about the social game, and I hope Ugarte and Maguire will be back, because we have a really this squad, and we are going to need to win that game. Get to the international break and read. Absolutely, LT. This is key, isn't it, LT? Is that Man United need to win this game, and then we go on to the international break, and then by the time the international break ends, fingers crossed, we'll have the likes of maybe Kobe Mainoo back. You know, Ugarte will be fitter and stuff. You know, it will be better for us, of course. Of course, the big blow for Man United this season is the loss of Ahmad and Licha. two of our best players, which goes under the rug. It gets swept under the rug a little bit, the players that Man United are missing, you know, and they just completely ignore that just to concentrate on some stupid rule about how far the wall should be back when it's never actually accurate anyway. You know, so and it just drives me mad, to be honest with you. I mean, anyone want to talk about adversity? Let's talk about adversity with Man United. We've had loads of it over the last few years. The referees have been against Man United over this last few years, and we're not just saying that. At the end of the day, it has happened against Arsenal, and it happened this season in the FA Cup. You know what I mean? Absolutely. Yeah. So, guys, yeah. Well, what I would say is that Man United just need to win this game. Thursday is like our season in one game. It's our season in one game. We lose that game. It's not just about this season. It's not about protests. It's not nothing to do with that. Man United need to win this game to get into European football next season. Long term, bigger picture, that helps Manchester United. Manchester United need that to happen. If we don't qualify for Europe, we're not going to progress. We can still protest. That is obvious. But we need to win that game on Thursday against Real Sociedad at the end of the day, in my humblest of opinion. Now, guys, in regards to other transfers, I did mention earlier on about the goalkeeper, Andre Lunin, who plays for Real Madrid, of course. A good goalkeeper, 26 years old. He could be the backup goalkeeper for Manchester United, or indeed, he might even be the first team goalkeeper for Manchester United. It is said that Bayindir wants to move for first team football because he's not getting enough first team football. So we are looking at a player like Andre Lunin. Of course, I have spoken about Trafford as well from Burnley. He's also on Man United's radar as a number 2. But this Real Madrid goalkeeper is a decent goalkeeper, and he could be a goalkeeper to take over Onana, because Man United cannot afford a very, very expensive goalkeeper again, of course, guys. He has played for Ukraine. He does originate from Lugansk, Zoria Lugansk, of course, in Ukraine. He does come from there, of course, guys. He's been on various loans as well, of Real Oviedo, of course, Lugansk. He's been on loan as well. So he's been around the blocks. You know, he started off at Dnipro, and guys, that is a Ukrainian team, of course. So that is another player that Manchester United are interested in going forward. Sal, what's Ruben Amorim's sporting plan? Is it Quenda or someone else? No, it is. I'm going to bring this in. It is Trincao. Ruben Amorim is interested in Trincao, Francisco Antonio from Mercado Trincao, basically. At the end of the day, Mota. Do you want to know his full name? Francisco Antonio Mercado Mota de Castro Trincao. That is his full name. So Trincao is a right winger who plays for Sporting Lisbon. Of course, a 25-year-old with 9 caps for Portugal, 27 million market value. Contract expires in 2026. So there's some wheeling and dealing that we can do in regards to this deal. Now, obviously, Manchester United are interested in Trincao, and he is a left footer, second striker, left winger, right winger. He can play wing back. So that is very clever. And he can play in various positions, of course. The Portuguese international, currently playing for Sporting Lisbon, is on Manchester United's radar. And the reason Man United are interested in this player is his value. His value is not that expensive because he only has a year left on his contract. So he is a name that you may be hearing a little bit more in the next few months, of course, guys. Absolutely. LT, it's funny how we have loads of key players missing. It's the manager's job to get the best out of the rest of the team. But when the likes of City, Liverpool, and Arsenal, it's always acceptable. Absolutely, LT. You know what? One rule for one rule for Man United. At the end of the day, no one mentions in media how many injuries we've got at the moment, how we got Leacher out, how we had to go Agate out, how we got Ahmad out, how we got Luke Shaw out, how we got Mason Mann out. No one's really mentioning these things, and it is a little bit concerning, isn't it, when you think about it? Do you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, this would disrupt any football team, especially a football team with a squad as weak as ours. Dorgu out as well, you know, especially with a squad as weak as us. You know what I mean? And, you know, they just brush it under the carpet. And that is exactly with a low IQ, dumb journalists that they are, that they do that, of course. Oh, it's Trincao. I totally forgot. Big up, Kenny. Big up, my friend. Big up, Tyball. What's going on, my friend? Oh, I just come back home. Good game yesterday with proper strikers who would have won, but lots of positives anyway. Look, you know what? I saw earlier, Tyball. I saw Peter Schmeichel consoling Rasmus Højlund last night, and I actually felt for Rasmus Højlund, Tyball. And I feel that we need to get off his back a little bit. I do believe he needs a spell on the bench, and I believe in the summer maybe we loan him out or something like that. But what I would say is that I believe there's a player in there. I think his confidence is absolutely shot. And I feel sorry for the lad. I do. I feel for him because he's 22 years old. It's difficult. Coming into Man United at this present time, Man United are a bad environment at the moment. So, you know, I felt for him. I saw Schmeichel giving him a hug and this and that. And you know what? I felt that a little bit. So, you know what? I wish him the best of luck. I do. And I hope he can get back on the goal scoring trial, of course. And that would be fantastic. Yesterday, we could have won the game. There was a chance where he had the ball in the box and he just needed to open his body out and just place it into the goal. He took his time and got tackled. And those things cost games, you know, they cost games. We should have won the game anyway, but you know what? Those small margins are what cost games, of course, guys. Absolutely. Wasn't he from Wolves? He looks familiar. No, he's not. He's not. I know which one. I know which one you are talking about, my friend. I know which one you're talking about. He was from Wolves. I know, but he played for Wolves only a little while, Kenny, if I'm not mistaken. I think he played for Wolves maybe one season, something like that, in 2021, 4 years ago. I think it was about that time, yeah. And his market value back then was about 20 million, and he went on to Sporting Lisbon. He did start off. He did play at Barcelona, Kenny. He did play off at Barcelona, but he started off at SC Braga. SC Braga was his team, of course. And the reason SC Braga and Trincao and Ruben Amorim are getting linked is because Ruben Amorim has a heavy connection with FC Braga. So FC Braga players, Sporting players are always going to be linked to Ruben Amorim. This is a natural thing. It happened with Erik ten Hag. This is a natural thing that these players will get linked to. But he played for Wolves, didn't really work out as well as he thought it would do, of course. But he didn't stay very long. But I mean, at the end of the day, Wolves, I mean, it is a difficult place to be, isn't it? It is a difficult place at the end of the day. Yeah, he stayed 2 seasons at Wolves. 2 seasons at Wolves. Absolutely. And I mean, it was a difficult time, of course. Big up Tyborg, big up everyone, of course. LT Facts, hypocrisy of the highest order. Absolutely, my friend, absolutely. Tyborg, I partly agree with you, Sal, on Højlund, but it seems like a bit Rashfordish lately when it comes to firing the spirit and body language. I hope he gets better, but at this moment, it doesn't look good, bruv. It doesn't look good for Tyborg. But what I would say, Tyborg, you know, at this present time, we can't do nothing with Rasmus Højlund. The only thing we can do right now is support Rasmus Højlund because he's not going to go anywhere. And this is the point I'm making. We can't keep diving in on, jumping on him, you know, and stuff like that because it is a difficult thing. Ultimately, players are judged on goals, isn't it? And being a striker, you just need to go a couple of games without a goal, and it can ruin a player's confidence. For example, the pass that Dalot should have done for Rasmus against, of course, Real Sociedad, those moments there can change a player's life, you know, basically his career. And obviously that pass didn't happen, and he would have scored there, in my opinion. And unfortunately, Man United are not a charity, and we'll never be a charity, of course. But one thing we always do as a Man United fan base is we get behind our own, and we hope that he picks it up. But what I would say is that I would myself put him on loan at the end of the season at a club. We can't sell him 42 million. If we sell him for less than 42 million, we've harmed our PSR and our FFP. So that is going to be obviously a problem. But I would put him on loan. I would send him out there. I would, and see if he could pick up his confidence. Absolutely. Big up Tyborg. Got a few good players around Rasmus, Ahmed and Kobe, and they would improve with the right signings around them. We need great leaders who experience around them. Absolutely, Jim. Absolutely. Adam. Hello, Adam. How you doing, mate? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Good to see you, of course. LT, I also think Rasmus is at a very moment in his Man United career, but I also think he's a good finisher. But I hope the international break will give him some time off to regain confidence. LT, it's all about confidence. It's all about. I've seen great players go games without goals, you know, and unfortunately, it's all about confidence. The problem Man United have right now is that Man United are not scoring goals, and Man United not winning games. And when you put those two together, you're going to get blamed for not scoring goals. I mean, you know, no one else gets more blamed than the strikers because at the end of the day, goals win games, doesn't it? And yeah, he's going to get the blame. I would personally, LT, see if we can get him a loan, you know, at the end of the season. If it doesn't improve, I would see if we can get him a loan at the end of the season, maybe go to Germany, maybe go back to Italy or something like that, wherever. Be great to get him a Premier League move, you know, and see how he does at a smaller team with a less pressure, of course, and see what happens, you know. Adam, what player would you get in the summer for United, mate? Many players. I would get Giovanni Quenda for Manchester United to suit Ruben Amorim's system, my man. Absolutely would. When I'm looking at the number 10 positions, I mean, I was a fan of Cunha, but I'm not going to go for Cunha because I don't think he's played well this season, in my opinion. So which is quite telling in some way, isn't it? At the end of the day, it is quite telling. I would like Ignacio as the centre back, someone like that who can fill in that left-sided centre back position. We do need cover there, but there are a number of players that I like. I like Matata. I do like Matata. I like Isaac, but I know that we're not going to get those players because of the price, especially Isaac. You know, so there are a number of players that are on the list of Manchester United, and hopefully we can get a few through the door. If it was my dream, I would get Cole Palmer to play in that number 10 position. Well, that's never going to happen, is it, at the end of the day? So, let's wait and see what happens. Whatever happens, I trust Ruben Amorim and what he wants to do with his football team. I trust what he wants to do with the team going forward, of course. What normal price would you be after this Osman Sal? 50 million. What I hope, Tyborg, what I hope is that we can sort of wheel and deal our way with Marcus Rashford and try and get Marcus Rashford and do a deal with one striker. If we can do a deal with Napoli or we can do a deal with a Newcastle for Isaac, for example, and we give them Rashford and we bring in another player, it will help us, you know, because we can use Anthony and we can use Rashford in our advantage to get these players through the door. I think this is what we're planning to do. The only overriding worry for me is that they may sell one of the players that we rate, i.e. Garnacho or Mainu, which I would find disgraceful in myself. But there is a very, very big summer coming out, and they are on fraud watch, Tyborg. They're on fraud watch. Ineos are on fraud watch, and we have to see what they do in the summer because we're not going to accept anything less than 100%, of course, guys. Absolutely not. Given everything that has happened this season so far, we saw that Jim Ratcliffe laughing in the stadium. I mean, goodness me, he was laughing after the protests, after all the chants against his name. He's laughing, guys. And this goes to show you where his mentality is, what type of person he is. You know what I mean? He doesn't really care about the Manchester United fans at the end of the day. He really doesn't care, does he? Doesn't give a damn at the end of the day. But this summer, I'm excited about, you know, because it's going to be telling. It's going to be telling. It's going to be educational. And there's no coming back from this summer. They failed this summer, right? It's no coming back for them because we already would know that what they're all about. Do you know what I mean? At the moment, you know, things are so negative and it's not good. I want the Brighton new one goalkeeper to be Man United number one, but I can't see it going on, mate. Can you? I can't. At the end of the day, the problem, Adam, is that players from Brighton and players like that, you know, they're overpriced. Man United tax as well, plus Premier League tax on top of that. It's overpriced. What we need to do as a football club is what Brighton do, which is find these players, find these gems, unearth these gems out of nowhere and sign these players because they have to get these players from somewhere. It's a bit like what Benfica do, what Sporting do, what Ajax do. They unearth these gems. Now, I do believe that we're kind of changing the mentality in regards to scouting players. I do believe we're going to South America, of course, to look at Jimenez, like, for example, players of that nature. We're going out there to find bargains. And I think that's what Man United should do because you can get more value for your money. You can. And and what we need to do is, you know, do what they do and play their game at the end of the day and build up players like that. And I think that's what we're going to do in the future. I think the days of spending 60, 70 million on a goalkeeper are done. I think Man United are done with that. I think the Onana experiment, let's be honest, guys. Has Onana been a flop? Has Anana been a flop? I want to know that, guys. I want to know what you think about that. Has Anana been a flop? Now, I'm going to do a poll for this to see if it. No, let me have a look. So let's get this up. So I'm going to write this down. Has Onana been a flop? Question mark. There you go. So I'm going to put this up. Has Onana been a flop? Because, you know, it is conflicting. It is conflicting. There are people out there who actually think he's done well at Man United. There are people out there who actually think he's done okay. I mean, I cannot fathom how they think that. But, you know, yesterday I saw Onana kicking the ball into no man's land. You know, and that makes it doubly hard for the strikers as well. When you got the goalkeeper gets the ball and just kicks it out. He either does that or he takes too much time and he passes it from side to side. Do you know what I mean? So it is a problem. It is a problem going forward. But the problem is that Man United need a number of positions in that team. Man United need another centre back or two. They need a right wing back. They need another midfielder, most likely. They need another number 10, most likely. They need another striker. It's difficult, isn't it, when you're thinking about it? And the players that can realistically leave, average, says Kenny. The players that can realistically leave. Who can realistically leave? Casemiro, can he leave? You know, Lindelof's going contract over. Eriksen going contract over. Of course, Evans going contract over. Of course, Rashford is still at the football club. Let's not forget. Sancho's leaving the football club as well. So there's going to be quite a turnover. There is Anthony. Is he going to leave the football club? Will we get a buyer for him? That is obviously the big $1 million question, isn't it, going forward? Tybog. In my opinion, Anana is a massive flop. I just don't trust him. He does a lot of small mistakes, but also some huge ones that cost us points. He's a bit like this Tybog. He's a bit like, you know what? He's one of them guys who, you know what I mean, will, I don't know, how'd you say it? He'd be telling you nice things in front of your face. He'd be all nice to you in front of your face. You go, oh, thank you, Mr. Onana. Thank you so much. Then you walk off and he slaps you on the back of the head. That's Onana. You know what I mean? He slaps you right in the back of the head. And some his mistakes. The thing is, it's not only about making mistakes. All goalkeepers make mistakes. But the thing is that it's the caliber of the mistakes. Last season, he cost us a Champions League place. We all saw the mistakes against Copenhagen and Galatasaray and teams like that. We all saw those mistakes, didn't we? He cost us last season. And this season, he's cost us as well. He's cost us a lot of points as well, you know. In fact, he's cost us about 17 points, I heard, like something like that, through mistakes. Can you believe? You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's mad. Adam, I'm not a big fan of Onana, Sal, mate. Me neither, mate. I've lost confidence in him. He makes me nervous, anxiety, etc. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, Matata. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, he's... That for me, Kenny, you know what? If we speak, Kenny, we'll be in trouble. If we speak, we will be in trouble, Kenny. If we speak, we'll be in trouble. Because there is actually, believe it or not, a Dalot fan club. There is a Dalot fan club. There is people who defend Dalot to the hill and back. He's awful. This season especially, he's been awful. Now, people talk about, oh, but he was player of the season last season. Guys, the bar wasn't very high last season. Let's be honest, right? Again, the bar wasn't very high last season. And again, he was average. And he was playing in a full-back position, not a wing-back position. He was playing in a full-back position. Of course, it's easier to play in that formation for him. You know, he suits that formation better. That's why. But let's be honest, guys. He has been awful. He has been awful, in my opinion. He definitely has, guys. Guys, I want to thank everyone for joining me today. Of course, you absolute legends. Really enjoyed the show. Guys, let me just read Jim's comment. Dalot needs to go. We've got 7-8 players that need to be sold. Absolutely. Thankfully, there are a few leaving. Let's see who we get. Sign all eyes on the Glazers and Ineos out. Spot on, Jim. I absolutely agree with that. That is so true. All eyes are on Ineos, of course. Ty, but I don't care about Dalot fan Gubby. He's not good enough. Not even on the right. Agree, Tybog. I can't say it better, Tybog. You're absolutely right. I mean, I'm you know me. I'm the sort of guy who gives people chances. I give people chances, even on this stream when people are being annoying. I give them chances. In particular, with Man United players, I give them chances. Do you know what I mean? And you know, I just don't think he's a good player for our position, for the position that we're playing. Yes, yesterday you saw him, like when he had an opportunity to cross the ball, when he had an opportunity to make a chance, he fluffed it. He fluffed it. He either hit it in the side netting or kicked it out of touch and stuff like that. At the end of the day. By the way, this morning it was Bruno was voted your man of the match with 53% of the votes. Of course, guys, 53% of the votes. Of course, 67% of people right now have said in the community that Onana has been a flop. Onana has been a flop. 67% of people. Who said he hasn't been a flop? No, 8%. 8% of people have said he hasn't been a flop. 25% said he's been average at the end of the day. Wow. Wow, wow, wee wow. Absolutely. Wow, wow, wee wow. Big up, Sal. Enjoy the stream. Thank you, Kenny. Big up yourself. Legend, of course, Kenny. Kenny's been here since day one, guys. Since day dot, my friend. Kenny's been here since day one. Absolutely. Since the summer, he's been here. Big up, Kenny, of course. To be fair, Ronaldo and Messi fanboys are the worst on the internet. Yeah. And Sancho. I think Sancho's a bit, you know, he's one of them annoying ones. Thanks, Sal. Straight, honest, and transparent. Love it. Big up, Jim. Big up yourself. Of course, in the internet, apps, yeah, on the social media fans, isn't it, Kenny? It's social media fans at the end of the day. Cheers, Sal. We are finished. We are finished. We're not finished, mate. We're not. We're just getting started, guys. Absolutely. We're just getting started. We're not finished yet, guys. Keep the belief and keep the enthusiasm, because at the end of the day, you don't know what's going to happen, do you? You know what I mean? We might win the game. We might win the Europa League. Who knows, guys? Who knows? Big knows at the end of the day. At the end of the day, who knows what's going to happen? And Ruben Amram is our savior, Matata. He will save us and he will bring Manchester United to the promised land. And you can find something else to be negative about Matata at the end of the day. Don't worry about that. We trust this manager. We trust this process and everything on top of that, of course, guys. That is what it is all about, of course, guys. Now, don't forget, guys, I will be back tomorrow for the Breaking Dawn, of course. Another huge show. And another big day. Hopefully, I'll be bringing the match preview as well. Matata, yes, we hope. Of course, we do. We bring the match preview as well tomorrow for the Sociedad. A massive game for Manchester United against Real Sociedad on Thursday. It's a must-win. We can't lose that game. Can you imagine Man United get knocked out of this Europa League? Can you imagine the negativity, the toxicity and all that we have nothing else to play for? It's going to be a nightmare, isn't it, really? It really would be. I can't even think about that right now. I just hope that Man United win that game, of course. Absolutely. Absolutely. Belief is central. It is in our main DNA. Absolutely. Absolutely. It seems like your glass is always half empty, buddy. Absolutely. I think someone needs to give him a glass and a bottle. I don't think he has anything at the moment. I think he's right down in the barrel at the moment. The barrels of negativity right down in the sea. Definitely. He's submarine down there. Absolutely. And he can't get back up. He needs to get back up and he needs to start being a little bit more zealous, should I say, a little bit more better. And you know what? At the end of the day, Matata, we don't know if you're a she or he or them or a they. We don't know who you are, Matata. So you could be a she, they, them, it, we. I don't know. I don't know what you want to be known as. I don't know what your pronouns are, Matata. So you can't expect us all to know that, Matata. Can you? Can you? At the end of the day. Absolutely. Especially these days, of course, guys. Absolutely, guys. Guys, thank you so much. I'm Sal Warner. This is Chatterbox. And don't forget to join me tomorrow for Breaking Dawn, of course. Absolutely. And please don't forget to smash the like. And please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new. And don't forget to spread the word as well. And put on your notifications as well, guys. I don't ask for too much. I'm a simple man, of course, guys. Thank you so much. You're all legends. Yeah, and we just keep the vibe going until Thursday, of course. We've got the big game. And I'm already feeling it. I'm already feeling it right now, guys. Nervous about the game. But I'm sure we'll get it done. I'm sure by hook or by crook we'll get it done. Of course, Supermendy will be back for Real Sociedad. You know what I mean? Which is it was a big miss for them. But you know what? We've got Ugarte and etc. back, haven't we, at the end of the day, to counter that, of course, guys. Have a great evening, night, morning, night, wherever you are in the world. Thank you so much. You're absolute legends. And thank you, everyone, for your generosity and your support. I'm Sal Warner. This is Chatbox. See you tomorrow. Take it easy. Peace.
One.